Welcome to our very first Citizen of the Month, a monthly feature of WBCB and WBCB1490.com, where WBCB and your hometown local district justice, Michael Burns, honor a Lower Bucks County citizen for his or her achievements in helping to make our community a better place. Our very first Citizen of the Month, I'm Sean Lerman, and I am here with Ted Fletcher, who has done so much for our community. Ted, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
All right, Ted, so why don't we start out, so what I first heard about you was about your work with the Morrisville Presbyterian Church. If you can, tell us a little bit about what you do with the church.
Okay, well, I'm an elder of the church and served on the session, which is the ruling body of the church, for 12 years. But I think the thing that I feel the best about is my role in establishing the Ivans Outreach Center, which is outreach mission of the church, and out of that grew a program where we have volunteer drivers take people who are shut-ins to their doctor's appointments and that sort of thing, and that's kind of burgeoned. It's now a completely computer literate kind of a service where people go online and say, I'd like to take this person to the doctor, and it's all hooked up and there are no people involved in making that arrangement.
Wow, that's absolutely outstanding. Yeah. Well, but that's not the only thing you've done in the community. I mean, so many other things that we have here. Actors Net. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it's a live theater company that's in Morrisville. It's in its 20th year, and I was president of that operation for 8 to 10 years, the first president, and during that time I built 60 or more sets for various shows. Now the knees won't take it any longer, so I don't do that anymore. But it's a community service in my mind, because the theater is something that draws a lot of people to Morrisville, which is what Morrisville needs. It's a neat place, but it has a bad reputation that's tough to overcome. And the Actors Net does a lot to bring people in and see that there are good things going on in Morrisville.
Absolutely wonderful. And now we also have in here the MBA.
Yeah, Morrisville Business Association, not Master of Business.
Not Master of Business.
No.
Although I guess you would kind of be a Master of Business, even if not in the literal sense by a degree.
Well, it's an organization that's made up of about 50 businesses in Morrisville. And I guess the thing that I feel most proud of, that in my association, I was president for a year or two, but I'm just a member now at this point. But I organized an event called Following Washington's Footsteps, a historic event. And it's kind of neat because we actually take people from Summerseat and move them up the river to the Washington Crossing. They cross the river there on foot, are picked up by a bus on the other side, and then they make the trek down to Trenton. And in 1 hour you cover what happened in 1776, right, literally the path that was followed. And you recognize and feel the enormity of what was accomplished that night. It's almost impossible that they could move the troops and the cannons and the horses and do it all within 6 or 7 hours, when your best communication was somebody on horseback.
Just running up and down the line.
Running up and down the line, yeah, unbelievable event. So that's neat, and we're going to run it again in September.
When in September? Do you have the date for that?
Well, actually, I said September, that was the original plan, but it's going to be October 1st.
October. Okay, so we'll keep you updated. Keep an eye on the WBCB 1490 Twitter and Facebook page, and we'll keep everybody updated on that event as it draws a little bit near. You've also done some work with the Rotary Club.
Yeah, we have a very active Rotary in Yardley and Morrisville, and I've been involved in establishing our major fundraiser, which is a carnival, which we'll have in May this year. It's been in the spring in Williamson Park, and that's our major fundraiser. We also have something that'll be the second annual this year, in April, which is a car rally, which is neat. You solve clues, and the one that can cover all 7 or 8 stations that you have to get to by solving the clue gets to be the winner. and there's a cash prize and that sort of thing.
Outstanding. All right, and before we get going here, just a couple of more things. It's amazing, the list. I mean, when I initially reached out to you, it should be said that Ted said, "I don't know why you would want to talk to me as a Citizen of the Month, but this is just becoming so clear that you are so deserving, and we really do appreciate everything you do for the community, and appreciate you coming on here and talking about it a little bit."
Well, I'm flattered, but I'll never forgive Mike for what he's done.
So tell us a little bit about what you've done with the Pennsbury and Morrisville school boards.
Well, I lived in Lower Makefield before we moved into Morrisville. And I was on the school board for 4 years, ran for election. We'll never do it again. And it's a tough job, and the folks that serve on those boards deserve a lot of credit for the commitment that they make, both in going through running for an office like that, in addition to actually participating. And unfortunately, when you run for something like that, you say some things sometimes that you wish you hadn't. But
well, I can't imagine you saying anything too bad. You seem like a very good guy,
well,
Ted.
when we get off the air, I'll share some of that with you.
And our last thing that we have on our list here, the EDC. Tell us what about that is.
Economic Development Corporation in Morrisville, which is a board appointed by the council, and their responsibility is to develop the economy in Morrisville, and that's tough to do because we got about a dozen smoke shops that we've got to deal with. That would be nice to have small restaurants in instead of that. But we've got to get over the hurdle that we face, which is the reputation of Morrisville that's out there. It just needs to be changed.
All right, Ted. Well, thank you so much for coming on with us. Our very first Citizen of the Month. Congratulations. We're going to step aside and take a quick break, and your hometown local district justice, Michael Burns, will pop into this seat. When we come back, he'll talk to Ted and have some congratulations to pass along, I'm sure. We'll be right back on 1490 WBCB and WBCB1490.com. The Lower Bucks County Citizen of the Month, a monthly feature of WBCB and WBCB1490.com, is brought to you by your hometown local district justice, Michael Burns, a proud member of our community and proud to honor a Lower Bucks County citizen for his or her achievements in helping to make our community a better place. You can find the Lower Bucks Citizen of the Month feature at the beginning of each month at WBCB1490.com and listen to the Citizen of the Month following Lower Bucks Tonight on the first Tuesday of each month on 1490 AM WBCB.
Welcome back to 1490 WBCB. I'm District Judge Michael Burns, and I'm honored to be here for the inaugural presentation of the WBCB Lower Bucks County Citizen of the Month with Ted Fletcher, who I don't know of anyone that is more deserving. Ted, congratulations.
Thanks.
You know, one of the things that always strikes me about you is what most people probably don't realize is that the court is actually connected to the Morrisville Senior Center. And week after week, year after year, Tuesdays, Thursdays, I'm not sure what other days, there's Ted delivering food from the food bank to the seniors. There's Ted picking up seniors, dropping them off, taking them to medical appointments. And when I was originally approached about this, the object was, let's find someone who's doing something under the radar, who's doing things that really need to be done, and not asking for any recognition or any reward or anything. And you know what you did with the food bank and the seniors, and you know, doing the drop-offs for shut-ins, and I mean, that's just amazing. You've been doing that for how long now?
A dozen years.
A dozen years. Well, I don't get a vote on who gets this award, but I am so proud and pleased that you were the inaugural recipient.
Well, thank you. You're embarrassing me, but I guess that's healthy.
Anything else you'd like to say?
No, I just appreciate it. It's great, and I'll be looking forward to tuning in for other Citizens of the Year or month or whatever it is.
Okay. On behalf of WBCB 1490, I'm District Judge Michael Burns with Ted Fletcher, the Lower Bucks County Citizen of the Month.